Welcome, welcome, welcome to Goddess Living Tarot. This is HP Marlana. I'm just so excited to be here with you guys. I've always been over on Instagram showing you different ways to kind of heal yourself through herbal remedies and things of that nature. We did Goddess Living Live over there for maybe about 5 to 6 weeks. So I would suggest you go over there if you would like to see more information about your Goddess Living, herbal concoctions, different things about your chakras, and kind of living as a goddess, on a regular basis. So definitely feel free to go over to Instagram to see those. Here on Facebook, I definitely had to come live with you guys. I said I gotta go live on Facebook and try to bring you guys into the fold as well. I wanted to talk to you guys about your spiritual awakenings, talk about your spiritual healing. If you guys aren't familiar with me, I'm HP Marlana, High Priestess Marlana. I am a 5th generation intuit that I know of, a healer. Some people may call me a psychic medium, but really I believe I'm simply someone who intuits, follows their intuition, and discernment to assist the divine feminine. My goal is really to assist and encourage and empower the divine feminine to their ultimate power. What does this mean? This means standing in your truth, your authentic you on a regular basis. This means not feeling like you have to be suppressed. I don't want you to feel like you have to suppress your gifts, your understanding of who you are. I truly believe as a divine feminine, you are beyond powerful. And if you recognize this, then it will make things a lot easier for you to move forward in your spiritual journey. I feel as though there's a lot of conditioning around us that leads us to believe that our power is non-existent, our power is minimal, and it's quite the opposite. What I recognized over my spiritual journey is the fact that I've been able to kind of conquer some of my disbeliefs. I've been able to be validated, encouraged, and unfortunately outside of my community, but nonetheless, I have been encouraged to move in a different way as it pertains to my power. So that also led me down a path of learning about Reiki. I learned about, angel healing, spiritual movement, chakra balancing. Over the last year, I had a dream, I want to say maybe about a couple years ago, in regards to my mediumship capabilities. And over the last year or so, I actually went to training in regards to that. But it came innately. Everything that I've kind of gone through came innately for me. And I was initially a little fearful. I must say, I recognized my gifts as a child. I remember, like at the age of 8, not being able to move, but hearing and seeing everything around my home and being able to see things on a whole nother level. And it was not really encouraged that I speak of those types of things. It was more or less demonized in religious sectors. I would ask for, help in regards to interpreting my dreams and things of that nature. And just over the years, I have grown. Simply that, in my gifts, innately one. And then I got a little training when it came to trying to really fully understand my mediumship capabilities. I had a dream first, where I saw dead people, I had a dream first, and then after that, let me go ahead and change. And then after that, after the dream, I was like, okay, so I already know this gift is coming in, right? And it did, and actually during the dream, I saw a woman. I was talking to some women actually in a home, and I kept looking at her and I kept looking to the left because I was like, I see her body here, but I'm talking to her here. Once I left out of the house, and this is in my dream, once I left out of the house in the dream, I went out and I saw all of these spirits walking around. This was in my dream. So this was not necessarily encouraged in my community. This was not encouraged in my household even. Family, friends, loved ones, religious sectors, any of those things. So I had to pretty much find my way on my own. So through that process, I was able to finally get assistance. I got validation from others. And then shortly after, I started my own website. I started my own YouTube page where I started, to perform monthly readings. I was actually doing it behind the scenes for others for a while before I actually came out with my own page or my own channel, because I didn't feel comfortable again in my gifts. What I realized is there's a lot of fear in my community around gifts, being gifted, being spiritually gifted. And that's kind of a myth that I want to debunk, that I'm trying to debunk for the community. Because, people get afraid as soon as they see like a card or a tarot reading. Now, granted, everybody is not of the highest good, right? Everybody has their own journey, and everybody you may not resonate with. Those that follow me over on YouTube and here and Facebook and Instagram, those are people who resonate with me, resonate with who I am. So those are the people that follow me. Everybody is not to be necessarily trusted, whether it's in a religious sector or anywhere else, not even in your household, not even in your family, right? So you're not always going to trust everyone, but I feel as though a bad name has been placed upon, tarot readers, tarot cards, mediums, psychics, things of that nature, especially in my community. By becoming one, it kind of showed me the light in many different ways. I mean, I had dreams, I talked to people, and I still was afraid to come out to the community in regards to my gifts. And when I say community, I mean those closest to me. Because again, the way in which I was raised, it was considered witchcraft. It was considered demonic. It was considered, all these different things. And once I did the research, I realized why that was. Even as I went into herbal medicine, I did research on the witch trials and why they were hanging women for herbal healing and things of that nature. As I did the research, everything in my life has been about women empowerment. So it's been like I've been doing the research, and I'm like, why were they really, demonized for helping women with birth or for helping with herbs and all these different things? Why was it really happening? As I continued on my journey, I learned about the Sibyls and the High Priestess over in Turkey, Rome, Africa, all over on the continent, and how they had more spiritual places than churches today. Like, they have more churches than there are churches today. And the head of it was the matriarchy. It was the high priestess. It was, and that is what I resonate with. Those are that's who I resonate with. That is my past life. That I've gone through different past life regressions. I've gone through so many different things that I could just tell you about. But I just wanted to give you a little information about me, why I'm here, and why I wanted to bring forth these messages to you. So I'm going to do a reading for you today. Just a reading in regards to just love. What is love? This could be love in your relationships. This could be love in all kinds of different ways. So I'm going to pull messages. Hopefully this does not scare some of you. I would love to get your comments in regards to the reading today. We're starting this for the month of December, mainly because I have opened myself up along with other divine feminines who are going to be helping people in the month of December, helping people on their journey, especially during the holiday. The holiday season in December actually is the highest rated time of the year, where there's the most as far as, suicidal thoughts, depression, things of that nature due to loss of family and friends. Thanksgiving was kind of tough for many of us. So we wanted to definitely bring forth this gift to you guys for the holiday season. So you can even receive this week a double whammy reading from two divine feminines, where you can get a message specifically to your divine feminine journey. Okay, so I'm excited to start this over here on Facebook. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me go ahead and get started. If you guys have any questions, I will be looking at the comments. I will be trying to help you guys, but I'm going to set the intentions. Thank you, Holy Spirit, ancestors, angels, and guides. Please provide the messages that those who need to see them will see, the divine feminines, divine masculines that the world needs to hear in regards to love at this time for this upcoming week. What is it that they can expect? What is it that we need to bring forth to you? Amen. So let's see. I'm just going to use right here. This is one of my spiritual decks. Usually when I pull messages, a lot of times they pop out. Sometimes I pull based on what I feel, and sometimes they come out automatically. So here I'm just showing you, this one right here is light and dream, and this is believe in your dream. So again, this message is already starting off with the fact that this reading is about love and light. This is about hope. This is about, if you notice here at the top of this message, we have an infinity symbol. We even at the top of this message have like an eagle. So when you look at these two messages, it speaks to the fire. It speaks to the passion. It speaks to those things that are transformative in our lives right now. So in believing in the dreams. Some of you may be having dreams as well that you're just kind of questioning, well, why do I have these types of dreams? I've spoken about that over on Goddess Living Lifestyle. I would suggest you go over there and watch that as well. But I truly believe in that your dreams are providing guidance for you, providing guidance for the masses. Sometimes it's for you, sometimes it's for more, but all you have to do once you open up and ask, just like you would in a prayer, you know, please provide guidance to me. You know, when I started on my journey, as I wanted to become more and more understanding of my gift, I started with simply, you know, directions, you know, instead of using GPS, even instead of using all these newfangled technologies that are available right now, I would simply use, you know, I would go out and I would say, should I go left or right? Should I go, you know, this way or that way, you know, and I would get guidance that way. And then that way I was able to hone in on my gifts. Most of the questions that I get, especially when people are trying to learn about their gifts and their intuition and their innate sense of being, is like, how do you know the difference between your mind, what you want, versus what spirit wants, and or God wants, or your ancestors want? You know, I truly believe we have all this guidance on the other side that is assisting all of us, you know. And you know how you get this gut feeling, right? Sometimes you feel like, I don't know if I want to do this. Sometimes it may be scary. Sometimes it might be outside of your comfort zone. It could be different reasons. So it's really about trying to hone in on these innate feelings that you feel innately. You know, I know that sounds repetitive, but I'm serious. Like, it's your own innate gifts, you know. I truly believe that we all are discerning. We all are, if you, in essence, psychic, or, you know, we all get these understandings, these meanings, you know, we all get these things, you know. It's just whether or not we want to believe them. It's just whether or not we want to turn it off. You know, personally, when I was a teenager, you know, I got a lot of pushback in regards to who I was. Like, oh, she thinks she's all that. Or, you know, even when I was young, why do you walk like that? You know, all these things. So, I mean, if you add on my gift on top of it, you know it's a problem, right? You know, I can only imagine what they would have said at that point, right? So, I mean, I've always had this pushback into who I was, and it didn't require my gifts to take me there. So all of that to say, you know, I learned over time to, you know what, I need to shut this down, or maybe I need to retract a bit, not be too much of who I am innately, and, you know, come back into the box. What is acceptable, right? You know, there's this box of acceptance that many of us have already had created for us since we were a child, whether it be through your parents, whether it be through your family, community, conditioning, through TV, whatever, on this is who you're supposed to be. And especially in regards to the divine feminine, and I speak highly and mostly about the divine feminine, you feel like you're boxed into this one way of being. You know, God forbid you do anything outside of that. God forbid you be too powerful than those around you. God forbid you be too powerful than the masculines around you. God forbid you be too intimidating. God forbid you be too passionate. God forbid, ... You know, and that is what we need to debunk. Like, that's not cool. Like, you know, it's okay for you to be powerful. It's okay for you to step outside of your comfort zone. It's okay, you know. This message just came out here, and this is yin. You know, this is the yin and the yang symbol. I'm sure many of you heard of yin. Yin is the spiritual. This is the spiritual aspect of your being. This is the divine feminine, the yin. Between the two, the divine masculine and the feminine, it's about spirit versus the tangible belief, the strength versus the spirit. And the divine feminine has always been the prior to the patriarchal structures rising and demonizing the matriarch, it was always the spiritual side leading the world. It was the prophetic gifts of the spiritual high priestesses that guided the kings and queens and guided those around in power, because the high priestesses could see beyond, and so all of that got switched when the patriarchy came into being, and the masculine became more empowered and things of that nature. So I'll talk more about that at another time in regards to the sibyls and the high priestesses, and how a lot of their knowledge was taken from them, and but nonetheless, and then plagiarized. So just to go an extra step deeper, but this is really speaking to your spiritual understanding. And if you can tap into your spiritual understanding, whatever that is to you, again, this level of discernment, it could be a level of understanding as far as your spiritual being, your guidance that you receive from your higher self. As you guys know, I speak a lot about your chakras, your crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, your heart chakra. We're going to pull in regards to your chakras, your yellow, your solar plex chakras, your sacral chakra, and your root chakra, the base. And all of these things help balance you out. All of these understandings, even when I was learning my Reiki understanding and my clearing gifts and things of that nature, it all came to understanding, right? And so what just came out recently is the building blocks, building from the ground up. There's a lot of misconceptions around spirituality, and I would say, again, mostly in my community around spirituality. I mean, not just in my community, everywhere, but I can really attest to in my community where I've been. And there's a lot of things that need to be broken and built up from the ground up. The mind frame, the limiting beliefs, all of those things need to come back around. Just break them all down and rebuild it from scratch with your real knowing, with your authentic knowing, not with what someone's told you, taught you, what you learned from those around you specifically. And I'm not saying you have to get rid of everything, but what I'm saying is, what do you believe in? What do you not believe in? What do you agree with? What do you not agree with, right? So for the longest time, we've been talking about the divine feminine, talking about people in regards to their gifts, their understanding. There has been this level of giving your power over to others for understanding, and that is interesting, so in itself, and you're not even realizing it, right? You're not even realizing you've given this power to others, right? So let's go ahead and take an extra step further. I'm going to ask for this week, what is it that you guys need to know? Some things that may be coming up this week in regards to love, in regards to who you are. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be happy to assist you. Let's see. So what just came out recently is the woman holding a heart. By the way, when I started out with this reading, when I started doing readings, I started out with oracle cards first. I have previously been an oracle in previous lifetimes, so oracles really gravitated towards me. And then over the years, I then learned tarot. So I read them all, but here so far we have all oracle cards, angel cards, wisdom cards. They're all a type of oracle cards with oracle messages. So we have here the woman holding a heart here. And this is an intuitive woman, a loving intuitive woman here. And then we have angel of balance in reverse, yin and yang in reverse, and then a garden and gate in reverse. Now this shows me that here we have a level of balance that needs to come back into order. Like I said, the divine masculine and feminine should be a balanced life, right? But it has really tilted and been, the divine feminine has been at the bottom of the totem pole, mentally, physically, emotionally, for a very long time, too long, right? So this is really about balancing the scales. Does this mean that you have to pull down the masculine? No, this means that you have to empower the feminine. However, many believe that if you empower the feminine, then the masculine will be depowered, or the masculine will be, the masculine will feel like you're taking their power. It's almost like you can't be powerful unless, and that's not true, unless they're willing, and that's not true. Like, that's ego, right? That's ego. Like, how dare you take something from me? I'm not taking anything from you. I'm just getting what is mine, what has been mine. I'm just stepping into my power. I'm just, you know, releasing any resistance in regards to what I can and cannot do based on your limiting beliefs, you know. I'm just going outside that box. I'm just doing me. Now, if that makes you feel some kind of way, that is an issue you have to deal with. But that's not an issue that I need to take on, because that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to handle my purpose here in life and assist those as I'm needed or see fit, or as God guides me, or as my spirit guides guide me, what have you. I'm here for a purpose. We are all here for a purpose. So is your purpose more important than my purpose? No, God, no, right? Is my purpose your purpose? No, you know. Part of your purpose might be to support that person, but you might have another purpose of your own that is totally outweighs you supporting someone else. You came here for your own individual reason, right? So that's where the confusion kind of lies when it comes to divine feminine and masculine. And I have these types of talks over on YouTube, like I said, once a month, where I have divine feminine chats. Please feel free to go back and watch any of those videos. They're not time sensitive. They have great messages in all of them. And actually this month I just started creating divine feminine videos for each individual zodiac sign. So usually I do it monthly, and I do a love reading, extended love reading, a general reading. I do all kinds of readings. I create all kinds of content over on YouTube, but it's in regards to speaking to the masses about their journey and what they can expect moving, you know, throughout their journey. So I really enjoy doing it, and I'm so happy to do this here with you today. So all right, so we have Angel of Balance here. Again, that was in reverse. So this is about bringing forth that balance. We even have yin yang here. Okay, again, you guys, you know what the yin and the yang is, right? Again, this is about balancing, again, balancing the scales, balancing out between the masculine and feminine, again, in reverse. And then we have the Garden of the Gate here. And if you notice, she's sitting right there with the garden, at the gate, with the key around her neck, but she's not going through. This is someone who's watching life past them. This is someone who can either get in it and participate, or continue to watch life in front of them, past them. And it came in reverse. So this, again, all of this is speaking to that light, building something new, getting out there, participating on a whole nother level. I love this, okay? I love this message. So let's go ahead and take it an extra step further. Let's look into the chakras that you might need to address this month. As you guys know, with the Graceful Healing store, we also have different chakras, chakra teas. We even have chakra crystals that assist in balancing out your chakras as well. So let me see what else comes out. So far, we have the green chakra out, and we also have the yellow chakra. Both of these messages speak to innocence and wonder, you know, playfulness, you know, living life to the fullest, love, right? This is about kindness, being kind and sharing this, receiving even. Another reason why I speak to the divine feminine specifically is because, you know, the divine feminines have a hard time receiving. We're, you know, usually they're in the position of giving, and have a hard time, again, receiving. Again, that comes back into this balancing the scales, right? Between you giving and receiving. What does that look like for you? How do you balance out the scales, right? So if you're constantly giving, you're constantly depleting yourself. And the mantra, all of that for the Graceful Healing Retreat is pour back into you. That is what the whole retreat is about. By the way, there is actually a retreat as well, which is why it's called Graceful Healing Retreat, where we do yoni steams, where we do different healing, Reiki healing, EMF, iridology, nutritional health, natural birthing, all of this good stuff. So I also teach natural birthing classes, all of that. So all of that to say, you know, the retreat is really about uplifting and empowering the feminine in all ways of life to support them as a whole. So again, what came out was the yellow chakra as well as the green chakra again, okay? So I just had to show you guys that. So we had the love that came out initially here, love and loyalty here. Then we also had the yellow chakra with the inner child here, also speaking to family. And then we also have passion and personal boundaries here. So, so again, this is giving advice about love. This is giving advice about your fulfillment, your desires, your joy, what it is that you love in life. This is about your choices. This is about being assertive, empowered, authentic. So this is advice to you to be authentic, to not take things entirely too seriously. But what is it? Once you release all of these woes and once you release all of these expectations and judgments, who are you authentically, right? So this is about living in that. And this is all about love. Again, the green chakra speaks to love. It's your heart chakra. It's your heart center. If you do want to work on, like, again, your chakras, a lot of times I help people realign their chakras as well. I do it remotely. Again, my readings, I even do readings remotely. We do Zoom calls as well. So when it comes to your yellow chakra, that speaks to your capability. This speaks to movement, forward movement. Again, similar to the garden at the gate here, taking those steps forward, not just sitting back and watching life being lived, but rather living it yourself authentically. So this is the type of readings that I usually do. We will be back here once a week. I'll be back here every Sunday at 8 o'clock. Providing you guys just understanding, giving you a little knowledge, giving you a little understanding, encouragement for the week. Right now, I'm mainly seeing here to hold on to the light. What I'm going to also do is give you guys a brief message. I'm going to pull a Sacred Rebel message, another oracle deck that I have, which is more about your ancestral, your ancestral rebel message. I love this rebel deck because it's speaking to the sacred rebel, meaning you being a rebel against what is your conditioning, what your upbringing might have said to you. You know, you're saying, you know what, and if you're here, you might have said, you know what, I do believe that there's a lot more than I've been taught. Personally, when I finally stepped out fully into my gift, I realized I had come to the realization that I hadn't been taught all the things I needed to be taught. I was going to be a part of certain ministries where I would have assisted certain people on multiple different levels, but I always felt like there was something missing, something that I couldn't do, something that was holding me back, something that was not allowing me to really be fully, authentically myself due to judgment. I have a problem with judgment and fear, guys, by the way. I don't respond too well to fear tactics. I don't respond too well to judgment, all of these things. I may have succumbed when in my younger years, hence the reason why I said I didn't want my gifts anymore. Literally, I said this. I remember even before I went to college, and then when I was in college, I was like, I wish I didn't know as much as I knew. I used to say that because knowing what I knew created issues. People don't like you seeing through them. I know I had someone tell me, like, why are you looking at me like that? And I'm like, looking at you like what? I'm just looking at you. They were like, you know, well, it's like you're seeing through me, like you're looking right. So what you have to hide, you know? But it wasn't, you know, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I wasn't doing it in a facetious way at all. I was just looking like, you know, like, let's see what's really going on here. And just listening, you know, and not realizing that was a part of my gift, you know? So another example was, you know, I used to work at a jewelry store when I was in college, and I gravitated towards a smoky quartz ring at the store that I worked at. And I didn't understand that smoky quartz was a protective jewel, that it was a protective crystal, that it had protective meanings, you know, that it had all kinds of energy with it. And I just wanted that ring so bad, and I just thought I was just in love with this ring. Granted, I got it, I kept it, but I didn't find out until later on in my life that certain crystals had different gifts and helped you in different ways. You know, like this one here is called the black catnip here, and we sell these on our websites here. This is great for cutting cords. You'll hear about cutting cords even in certain religious sectors. You know, people talk about spells and mantras like that's something demonic, but yet to me, when I hear it, it's similar to a prayer to me. You know, I learned how to pray deeply from family members in tongues and in church and things of that nature. I still do intently. I speak in multiple languages still today. That's not gone from me, but that's still part of who I am. But yet it's interesting that it's demonized when you're using it for other reasons. You know, when I went to my mediumship conference last year, it was a lot of people that didn't look like me. I was the only one that looked like me. I just would like to say that. And it was over 50-something people in this conference. It was a 5-day conference. And it was so I could understand my mediumship abilities to another level, to where I can understand it, not be so afraid of it, and it not make me so emotional. Because when I'm helping others deal with other people on the other side, they may be emotional, but I was trying to, basically help them and not be so emotional myself, because a lot of my gifts center around my feelings, my clairsentient abilities, clairvoyance, clairaudience, all of these things. But more than anything, I'm empathic. I have this feeling. I can feel other people's energies, feel other people's feelings. I have this empathic, compassionate nature. So with that, their hurt I feel, and therefore it comes through me as well. Sometimes it's cleansing for them and me, but ultimately I wanted to assist them in a more professional manner. Let me put it that way. And so when I was there, we were actually being trained by a guy named John Holland. He has, he's been on TV, all kinds of different things, a famous medium. And then the other person he was working with was actually a nun, okay, in the Catholic Church, who was in the Catholic Church. And when things were fine and she was talking to St. Peter's and St. John's and St. whoever at the time, it was all good. But when she started to speak to and provide messages from someone's mother, father, sister, cousin who passed away, then it was an issue. So she created her own church, actually in New York. It's in a Lilydale community. They have a community centered around this belief system, and this belief system that goes outside of the normal so-called belief system in the religious sectors. So I learned a lot through that process, and just realizing that others, other people's beliefs, they're different all over the world. So I just needed you guys to know, and I wanted to provide you this message. What is already with you? So this is the message that is here now. So what is already with you speaks to really what you already have. This speaks to you already holding your power in your hand. And all you have to do is really reach out for that. All you really have to do is enjoy that. All you have to do is be authentic to who you are, because it is who you are. What is already with you. And I'm going to just read to you part of the message that's in the book here in regards to who you are, and just give you a little more information in regards to this, okay? So we have here, you hold in your hand that which you seek. In other words, the pair of spectacles you have been rummaging around for is sitting right on your head. What you are seeking, perhaps by exploring far and wide, is actually right under your nose. This oracle comes with a special guidance for you. You are more ready than you know and think you are. You are more prepared than you realize. You don't need an entire army of resources to move ahead. Although you may find that when you do move, many resources suddenly become apparent. All that you need in this moment is just one sweet act of nourishment. That is enough to take you out of backwards nostalgia or regret and forward into what is awaiting you now. Be brave, dig deep within, and enjoy the sweet surrender. I love to end my messages like this. It just came totally full circle. Exactly what I spoke about in the beginning in regards to the light, the love, the balancing, waiting to live your life fully. All of this came out in this message. This is advice to you to be brave, to step out on faith. You hear about that all the time. Step out on faith. If you're concerned with whether or not you're doing the right thing, simply ask. I truly believe in prayer. I truly believe in you open up your mouth and you will see what comes about as a result. By opening your mouth and expressing your voice through your throat chakra, you are able to do so much. You are able to create so much. You are destined to grow in multiple ways, in great ways. So don't hold yourself back. Thank you so much for coming to this love reading today. I look forward to seeing you guys back here again. If you're interested, please feel free to leave a comment below. Any questions you have, definitely come back next week. If you are here live with me, I'll be happy to answer some questions for you as well. I thank you all for coming out today, and all those who came live with me, thank you so much. Happy holiday, and definitely do not forget to take advantage. You can just leave a message, or you can email us over on Graceful Healing retreat.com in regards to you participating in any readings through with divine feminine, such as myself, where we do a double reading for you in regards to your divine feminine journey. That's what we're offering this week. Each week we'll be offering something different. We also put out there, and it's only a donation of like $33. So the prices have dropped considerably in order to help more people during the holiday. We just know that this is going to be a hard month for most. I will also be going live as it gets closer to the holiday, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve as well. And I'll also be going live intermittently between all the social media. So not just Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. So I look forward to seeing you guys here again. Again, do not forget to go look at the Goddess Living live episodes that we already have on Instagram. You can learn there how to make body products, how to make herbal oils, how to make different concoctions such as elderberry syrup or elderberry sangria. So go on over there and enjoy that. I love you guys. Blessings, love, and light. Bye-bye. HP Marlana out. Bye. Have a good